Hey guys, and welcome back to Battlefront Updates and the promised Q&A. I'm sorry that it's been a bit delayed. We thought about filming a little bit outside, but it's been very cold and way too snowy to actually film something outside. So we figured we'd just do it indoors instead. So mostly we're gonna answer some questions from you senators, but also some non-senator questions as well. So thank you all for submitting that. We want to do this more in a regular basis, and Soti is apparently already done with this. Wait, let's see if I can trick her back. Soti! She's already been sitting here for a while, so I was a bit slow. Let's see if I can trick her back. Can you get back in the box? Oh, oops. Alright, we'll see if she stays now. Probably not. Sometimes she's really patient and can sit there for hours, and sometimes she'll just run around. But yeah, with that being said, also the winner of the holiday Q&A, well, you'll see it on the screen right now, and I will contact the person as well. So congratulations to whoever becomes the winner, because I'm gonna draw the winner right after this video. But let's get into some questions that you left. So first of all, Bongo said, what is your favorite Star Wars show? At the moment, I would say it's probably The Mandalorian, because yeah, it's been 2 good seasons and we haven't really seen much else, but there's obviously a ton of other series coming out, and I'm not sure which one I'm most excited for. That's hard to say, but as of right now, out of Clone Wars, Mandalorian, I think Rebels and Resistance and all that, I think Mandalorian is definitely my favorite so far. And then Mr. Blackfuss said, do you think Clone Wars is better than Rebels? I would say yes. I do think Rebels has some really like high peaks, like with Maul and Inquisitors and Ahsoka and so on, but I think overall it can get a little bit slow some seasons and some episodes. So overall Clone Wars has a higher like average level, I think. So in short, yes, I think Clone Wars is better than Rebels. And then Duchess May says, what are some funny things about Soti that are unique? Well, there's a lot of things, like, well, she loves chicken wings, as you can see. She like, if we have McDonald's, she'll like dive straight into the trash afterwards and try to like get chicken wings. And if she managed to snag one, she'll run away with it and hide under like the sofa so we can't reach her. But other than that, she's a very like cuddly and caring cat. Like she can cry a lot for food, but if we're asleep, she leaves us alone and she'll get up on the side of the bed and sleep with us. And if it's in the morning and she's up and doing something, she'll leave us alone. And the second we do get out of the bed, that's when she'll start begging for food. But she doesn't do it when we're asleep. So she's like, she doesn't want to disturb us when we're sleeping, which is really cute. But if we're up, then she's all go, I want food, I want candy, I want snacks and all that kind of stuff. So I think that's pretty unique with her, because I've heard about other cats that can just keep you awake the entire night basically, but she doesn't do that. Slaktaren says, what is the future plans for the channel right now as Battlefront is not having updates anymore? I mean, it's really hard. I mean, obviously I know it's not very good to be that niche, but I've always covered all Star Wars games, like, the open world game is coming out, Lego Star Wars game, and EA are working on Fallen Order 2 and that kind of stuff, which I definitely want to continue doing, but I want to try to do more stuff as well, more IRL stuff like this, more stuff with Sotis, and definitely more live streams, because live streams feels like we've done Among Us, we can do other games. It's a bit easier to expand into other genres, and so yeah, that's hopefully what we're gonna try to do, and try to build a strong community and not just rely on one game, because I know it's not the best idea. Infor4Kid says, when you come back to the US next time, what American fast food or quick service restaurant are you dying to try? I'm not really sure which one. I tried Taco Bell with Infor4Kid and Jake when I was in LA like 2 years ago, roughly, a little bit less, 1.5 years ago. So I have tried Taco Bell, I've tried Five Guys, I've tried In-N-Out. I'm not really Wendy's maybe, or something like that, because that's something we don't have in Sweden, so I'm not really sure how it is. I really want to try more Mexican food, because I love Mexican food and we don't have that good Mexican food in Sweden. So if there's any other good Mexican food chains in the US, I'd love to give those a try. I hope she's not making too much of a noise, but she came back by herself to the little box. She wants to be in the video, at least she's not too camera shy. But continuing, let's see. Simonita said, is a channel name change still in the works or not? I mean, yes, it would be a good idea to change the name. And I think I made a post a while back and you guys responded. It was like 50% of you said, no, you should keep the name. It's better to keep the name. 50% of you were like, you should change the name. I don't know. Everyone says different things. Even if you talk to people who have experience with it, some of them regret changing the name. Some of them say it was a good idea. But I think ultimately I am way too locked into one game, which isn't really good, especially when the game is probably not continuing. I mean, it could be a Battlefront 3, but we don't know. So a channel name is definitely in the process. A channel name change is at least in the process of seeing what we can do and what the best option is. Hey! Maybe just Soti updates would be a best way to go. Quillo said, which content creator would you like to collab with that you haven't done already? For me, I'd like to see you and Jack Frags collab. I mean, yeah, Jack Frags is like probably the best option, I'd say, because I've met Jack a lot of times during different events, and I've always been like inspired by his channel before I even started my own channel. He has like really straightforward videos, good coverage of all games, no BS, and it's a really nice dude. So I'd love to do a collab with him at some point. And I do know he occasionally makes some videos about Battlefront as well. So yeah, other than that, I'm not sure what creators. I don't think I have any other like. I don't have like a dream creator that I at some point want to make a video with. That I can think of right now at least. Otherwise, I'll add that in. What upcoming new Star Wars show or movie are you most excited to see? For me, it's Andor or Ahsoka. I think it's hard to say. I don't know. The Boba Fett series, I got really hyped for that just because by seeing Boba Fett in Mandalorian, because he was really good. So seeing more backstory for that, more action, I think that has the potential to be really good. I'm also excited for the Ahsoka series, or really anything in that timeline and Mandalorian season 3. So I don't have a given favorite because we know so little about all of them that it's hard to pick one favorite, in my opinion. Janice said, would you rather erase the sequel trilogy or Mandalorian plus Clone Wars Season 7? I mean, in that case, probably just the sequel trilogy. I don't think they should erase any of it fully, but like Clone Wars Season 7 was great, Mandalorian was great, sequel trilogy had a lot of issues, but still had some good parts. So if I had to remove one of them, I'd probably say the sequel trilogy. Worst season of the year? Probably in Sweden, winter, because like it's so cold, it's so dark right now, and especially with COVID, you can't even go out and do like stuff you could at least do in the winter before, like bowling or cinema or restaurants. You can't even do that. So it's just having so much dark, so much cold, and not being able to go outside. Yeah, I gotta say, I like winter just basically for like skiing and stuff, but other than that, no thanks. If you could take one more pet, what would it be? If we're not talking another cat, probably a little hedgehog, because they're pretty cute. I don't think Soti would get along with a hedgehog, but it would probably be fun to see, because at least I know she hates other cats and dogs. And a hedgehog, I mean, if she were to like try to slap the hedgehog or something, she'd obviously get stung by the back. And hedgehog seems to be really cute and like pretty good pets. It's more common than you think. I don't think it's because we have hedgehogs here in Sweden, but it's not the normal hedgehogs that are wild. It's called like pygmy hedgehog or something, I think. Hamati asks, how are you liking Outcast? Referring to my first the video I did in December when I played. I was quite enjoying it. I haven't played many old Star Wars games, and a lot of you have asked me for last month, when are you doing the next video? When are you doing the next video? So I quite enjoyed it. It was very obviously old and the mechanics are clunky, but it was fun. So I want to continue that, and as well as see what the actual story does, because I didn't get anywhere in the story at all. So I want to see what happens with the characters, and I've heard that the lightsaber combat is like the best game, pretty much the best for any game. So hopefully I'll get to that soon and show it off on the channel as well. Slaktaren, best food place at the moment. What do you think? What's the one we've eaten the most at the last like month or so? Because we've ordered a fair bit of like Uber Eats now with COVID, since you can't go to restaurants. So what do you think? Angelo's? Yeah, probably. Probably this place called Angelo's, a pizza place very close to us, that it's not like the high-end expensive pizza, but it almost tastes like it, and they have really good pasta as well, for a good price. So we've had like, you had the steak pasta, I've had like the shrimp pasta, and yeah, it's probably Angelo's. It's really good pasta, good pizza, and it's extremely close to us as well, so that's obviously a big plus. The Emperor's Watch asks, I wonder what of the dishes for Christmas is your favorite, and also what beer is your favorite? Dishes for Christmas? Oh, that's really tough. I mean, homemade meatballs with beet salad, is that rödbet salad? Beet salad? All I can think of is Dwight Schrute from The Office when I say beet salad, because I've never said it in English before, but it's like beets with creme fraiche, I think. And we made a homemade one this year with homemade meatballs, which was really good. So that's probably my favorite. And for favorite beer, sour beer. It's called, it's like a, actually I have a bottle here, should I show it? This one. Just out of a coincidence, I realized I had one of these. So yeah, this is like a really good sour beer if you want to try one that's a little bit more fancy, but it's not super expensive. So yeah, I know sour beer is something a lot of you probably haven't heard of, but yeah, this one, Rodenbach Character Rouge, I think that's how you pronounce it. So that's probably my favorite beer. Jenny Shine asks, how do you feel about the current lineup of Star Wars content? Are you excited, or do you think it's getting too saturated? At the moment, I'm excited. I mean, they announced so much stuff, at least for series, that obviously you get a little bit worried. But it's also, so far what they have released, like Mandalorian season 1 and 2, have been really good. So as long as they keep having that quality, I have my hopes high. But if they keep putting out series, like 2 series every year, and they're like mediocre quality, then obviously you're gonna be a lot less hopeful for the future series. But at the moment, I don't think it's too saturated. So now a few questions from some of you non-senators here. First of all, Darth Window asks, hey Elliot, hope you're having a wonderful new year. What got you hooked on creating your own YouTube channel? What was your main inspiration? And did you see yourself becoming the best Battlefront YouTuber there is? The thing is, I think I've had 6 YouTube channels before this one, with various like games like RuneScape. I think World of Warcraft, but that was like 2 or 3 videos. But I did have one channel before this that had like 1,000 subscribers with mixed stuff, and I realized it just didn't go well mixing a bunch of different games. So I was like, I want to find one niche. And actually the main inspiration was a guy called More Console, who made only Destiny videos. And I saw how well that worked out for him. So that's why I was like, I want to start with doing Battlefront stuff the second they announce it, because I know that gives me an advantage, and obviously that worked out really well. I know it's obviously also a huge disadvantage and of like focusing onto one game, but it can also be an advantage because I tried all the other stuff before. So it's like, yeah, it's there's both good and bad to it. All right, like, oh, hey, she's breaking the box. Hey. Unicorn Princess asked, does Soti like being wrapped in that tinsel? No, she's referring to this picture. I'll show you on the screen right now. I think like 2 seconds after we took that picture, she ran off and like the tinsel fell off. So she doesn't like having clothes on her, or like even the what's it called, the leash that we have if you go outside with her. She doesn't like wear anything. She's fine with like a necklace. But in terms of clothes or like that tinsel, no, she doesn't like that. IC asks, how are you feeling today? Equally important, how are Soti feeling? I'm feeling all good, thanks. And I think Soti is feeling pretty good as well, because she had some new candy today, and she's already had her soup today and like her maximum dose of candy. So we're technically not allowed to give her more candy. And I know, yeah, like we talked about before, she was on a diet, but she actually hit her goal weight and even a little bit below. So now we can give her candy, obviously making sure she doesn't gain all the weight again, but we can give her candy a little bit more liberally now, which is good, because she really loves candy. Jedi Cookie asks, did you like the class system in Battlefront 2 more than the customizing system in Battlefront 1? in short, yes, I do miss the full customization of Battlefront 1 where you can make like you choose my loadout like I did, but it's better with classes. That's how the classic games were as well, so I do prefer the class system, although maybe it could be a little bit more customizable. It could definitely be improved, but it's still better than the first game in my opinion. Elip asks, what was your favorite blaster in Battlefront 2015? Probably the CA-87. I really liked having a shotgun blaster, and I do miss that in the new game, although Vanguard is, I guess, like almost like that. HJS asks, do you think we will get any more news soon on Jedi Fallen Order 2? Also, happy holidays. Yes, I think that's probably the next Star Wars game we'll get news about, because there's been so many rumors and leaks and stuff about it, and it's pretty much officially confirmed. So I think probably the latest EA Play this year in June, but probably before that they'll say something about Fallen Order 2. Darth Mandalore asks, why do you love cats so much? P.S. I love them too. Honestly, before I met Soti, I wasn't even a cat person, because I've only had, not bad experiences, but like cats that just didn't want to cuddle. I was also allergic to them, and they also just hid as soon as you got visited someone who had a cat. But Soti was so friendly. She always came up to me and she always like cuddles, even at the start when I barely knew her. And she's so loving that she's like the best pet you could ever imagine. She really is the best. And she cured my allergies. As crazy as that sounds, I don't even need to take pills anymore. At the beginning, even with pills, my eyes were like red, and I couldn't, like, she wasn't allowed in the bed or anything. But at the moment, I don't feel anything. And she pretty much, I think she cured like the pollen allergies. Like all my allergies became better by being with Soti. So she's like a magical cat. So yeah, she's really the best. Taryn asks, is your cat playful? She's fairly playful. I mean, most of the time she just likes to relax, but now she also figured out how to get candy out of her little candy ball. So I don't know if that counts as being playful or just as she loves candy. But occasionally she will wake up. I know I said she doesn't wake us up, but sometimes she'll wake us up by like playing with stuff hanging around, or she finds something to scratch on. But he's a pretty calm cat overall, I think. But occasionally she'll play. Hick said, you got a beautiful cat, Elliot. Thank you. She is very beautiful. She is the most beautiful cat ever. And the last question from Alex here saying, if you were in charge of the Star Wars team at DICE, what content would you put in Battlefront 3? I think almost everything from the second game, plus no campaign, scrap the campaign, and I pretty much think they should scrap space battles as well. Focus only on one thing and do it really well, which is ground battles, and then add like Galactic Conquest or something like that. I just don't think the game, they tried to do too much with Battlefront 2. That's why it took them for so long to create, and it wasn't finished when they released it, and they had loot boxes and everything. So it has to be a big game, but it also has to focus. We've already have squadrons now for flying, so if you like squadrons, if you like flying, play squadrons instead of trying to make everything and cram it into one game, and then everyone gonna be disappointed. So I think that's probably what I would do. And just as we were recording the outro, the camera actually overheated. But yeah, again, thank you very much for watching the video. If you have any feedback whatsoever, leave it below about other type of videos you want to see, and maybe we'll be able to do some IRL live streams or something in the future as well from my phone, or yeah, sort it out somehow. That would be a lot of fun, because it's good to be back doing more of this IRL stuff, and I think Soti wants to be involved as well, as long as she gets her treats. That's her contract. But yeah, thank you very much for watching, and as always, may the Force be with you.
You